And welcome back. Today I'm on the Mac and I'm looking at Endnote times 8. I'm going through the basics with you just to get you up and running. So before we start, I just want to mention this option here, which is configure synchronization. Now, a really powerful option. It's definitely worth you signing up to an account, because this will enable you then to share all your references, and you can actually access other people's references up 100 libraries at a time. So it's definitely worth a little look at. So I'm going to cancel that, but make sure you sign up to that anyway. Let's have a look at the interface quickly. Left hand corner. Now if I come up to the top here, we've got three options. This is your local library where you're going to store all your groups and create folders and groups. This is where you do an online search, and this shows both integrated together if you want to work in both. So I'm going to leave that on both for now, so we can see also the online search and creating groups. In the middle, and this will show you all your references and all your PDF and links and sources. At the top here we search, and to the right here will give you a preview bit of your reference style or a PDF, and it's got a PDF view in there that will show you as well. Just a quick point up here, when you are searching, you've got multiple options to search from. For example, author, any field, keywords, abstract. Now the option I've got here as well, you can search any field that contains and put what you want in there and what it contains, or it could be is greater than fields beginning with, so you can break down the information that you're searching for in your sources. Also, if you come to here, so we've got any fields, you could have and a specific year, so you could have any fields, or you could do it this way. So if it's any fields, you want to break that down more, so you could have author and year, so you could put author in here, Smith, and put the year in there. For example, you're looking for journal for 2001, and then that will search for both with Smith and year. And you can change that, you don't have to have year, you've got multiple options that you can look for. And also if you come down to and here, again you can change it again, you might want or, so not just, so you might choose up here, actually I want Smith or 2001. So a good way to filter information when you're searching for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you quickly, go over the ribbon at the top. This is your syncing button here, so you can sync your references. Now you can only have one library open at a time, but you can integrate libraries. So if you open up a library and you're doing research here, then obviously you might want to integrate into specific libraries, but you have to open up that library to integrate it. So bear that in mind, yeah? But on the syncing option, this will sync all your references online to a server for you so you can access. You can share all your sources online with different people. Next option is it will give you activity feed of how many people, recent transaction with your references, so you can see exactly what's going on online. This will find full text view. For example, say you've downloaded a PDF or you've got one on your Mac and you want to find out the information metadata for it. This will try and find the full text for you for it. So it does that either by finding a PDF for you. Your next option is find reference updates. So any old updates, you highlight and click this option and it will update any references there for you automatically, because you might have stored them for quite a while, so it might need updates. New references, so if I tap on that, anything it doesn't find, you can put in the information in manually. For example, say it's a journal, then you click into here and add the information in that you want in for journal. So you can also add information. If you come up here, you've got a spell check here, but you can also attach files. So for example, you might have a PDF or another option you want to attach to that. And these I've showed you with local library mode and online. Here, this option, you can highlight your references and then copy it to your local library. So that will copy it to your local library, which is down here, which I'm going to show you groups in a minute. So they've had a quick layout. Let's get stuck into the program. First thing you need to do, it depends on what you're studying, is create groups. So you can come up to groups here and select a group from here, or hover over here and do a right click, two finger tap or right click on your trackpad and then select your group here. But I recommend here doing a group set. Now what a group set does is you can create a whole group, so it could be a specific subject or module that you want to put, so you have subgroups underneath, so you can organise. So that could be different lectures, different modules. So let's just put anything in as an example. So I just put medical degree as an example. So I'm going to tap on that. So now I need to create subgroups underneath. So I'll come up to the top, I'll do a two finger tap on medical degree and select create group. And now you can type in your groups, so it could be anatomy. So I've popped in anatomy, for example, and then I could do a two finger tap again and select create group, and you might have, and click enter. So you get the idea with that. There's a group up here, and that's no group, you have to worry about that, so I can right click that and select delete group set. And it's asked me, do I want to delete it? Yes I do. And that way you can keep adding. You can have as many groups as you want. So if I select groups again, and I can select another group set, it will come underneath, so I can separate my information and organise all your references. So 2-finger tap, and I can delete group set that I don't want. So there we go, we've now created your groups. If I come back up there, select medical degree, go to groups, there's an option there called create smart group. Select that for me. Now what a smart group does, it filters out information you're looking for. So for example, you might do a search for the leg, but you specifically want information pulled out a certain year, say 2006, and maybe you just want the calf pulled out with information in the title. So what we can do with that, we can break down information and filter it. So let's give it a go. So I'm going to call the group anatomy legs, and then I'm going to choose from a specific author if I want, but I don't. So I'm going to do title. Anything with the title in it that's got calf in it, I'm hoping it will automatically filter out for me and put it into one of my smart folders, my smart groups. I can choose specific years if I want, so I could decide actually I'm going to pull out journals and information from 2017. And then you can break down and filter your information. Come down the bottom here, you can save the search, and once you save the search you can load the search for later to bring it up quickly. You can also set as default, restore default if you want as well. Don't forget when you're doing this, you've got this option here where it's going to look for anything in the title that's got calf in it and 2007, but you can put or 2007 or not 2007, so you can exclude information if you want as well in many different formats. So there you go, calf 20, so I'll click that, and now I've created my smart one there. That's my smart group. Now I'm ready to do a search. So I'm going to search PubMed. Just a quick point. If you can't find anything there that you need to search from, go to more, and it gives you more online search options here. It's got 438 connections, you can see there. You can search here specifically if you're looking for one, or you can select a quick list from here, or you can go through connections through here quickly. For example, they've got Encyclopedia Britannica there as well. But don't worry too much if you can't find what you're looking for, because if you do online research anyway, you can import from many websites, be it manually or using the RIS file to import your references into Endnote as well, so that's not an issue. But I'll show you that later. Don't click cancel. Let's do a search. So remember to select PubMed. So I'm going to do a search all fields on legs, just a general one, and I can have year. And I think I'll just leave it as a basic one like that. So I'm going to click search. Now obviously I'm going to do that bigger search, so I'm going to break that down to maybe 1,000 and click OK. Give it a little while to do its search. I'm going to cancel. I'm going to go through them all, but let me go to my smart group there, and you see it's pulled out information already because it's found in the title and the year everything to do with those options. Wide calf there, so bear that in mind when you are doing a search. But if I come back to PubMed, you might find additional information you're looking for, so I could go through it all. For example, let's do this as a demonstration. So I'm going to highlight a few there. Now I can right click and add references to my groups. So these are my groups now. I've got anatomy and nervous system. So if I tap, come to the left, you can see it's gone to my anatomy folder. Or if you prefer, you can hold the left button and drag and drop them into your folders. That way you can see what you're doing in real time as well. So I'm going to go into anatomy, and there we are, got some information there. Now if I come to the right here, we've got the reference dial. Now it's a bit clogged up, so I'm going to come up to the top here and we can change how to view that. So I could have bottom preview for example, and that way I can see all the information on the journal there, and I can add to that if there's anything missing. You've got volume there, and underneath I've got the reference dial. Now that's doing a Harvard reference dial, but we can change that as well. I'll show you that later, because you might be working off, for example, I don't think you could be working off APA because that's a psychology student and that's a medical degree, so you could choose that. But I'll show you the reference dials later anyway, but I just want to be able to view the information. Now I prefer this view. I know it's a bit squashed, but I do prefer that. Now hit this option here, we've got no PDF, so if I come back down, I'm going to write to PDF so we see a PDF information. So we've got no journal, though we've got the reference and information. Now we can search for the journals with this and information. Remember I told you earlier, so I'm in my anatomy group, I've highlighted my research, And I'm going to press this little button here, which is find full text. And I'll come down to the bottom left hand corner. It's going to search, see if it can find any information for that. So it's found nothing there, but do a right click again and select URL and open URL, and that will look for the abstract for you and find the original link for you to work off. So you see what a great option this is already. So now I've got my information and I'm starting to build my references. Now I'll come back up here and I'm going to go back to split, so I can have a quick look at both. By the way, hold the left button, you can drag them in and out if you want, and position them exactly how you want them if required. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to my anatomy, which is my smart group, remember, and I'm going to click on one. I'm also going to look to see if there's any journals attached to this. So we highlight them all, command, and tap on what you want. You can click this button here or right click and select find full text, which does the same thing. Again, look to the bottom. And there we go, look, it's found one. So that way I can tap on it and access my information to the right. And that one, again, I could right click and find the original source with the URL and open URL. So now I've got my journal to the right. Now I want to get some information that I can actually research and quote off that. So come to the top here and click this little icon, and it will put it in big preview view for you. The reason is that way you can read it and edit and annotate information. So come to the top here. Right, if I click the little attachment, you can attach further PDF to this if you want, or you can close it and go back to Endnote, or you can email it in case you want to email it straight to someone. We can rotate it left and right, or completely round 360. This is a search tool, so if I click on it, if you're searching for specific information, so let me pop in there, for example, sleep, and click enter. It goes to the first word, sleep, but then I can cycle through. So if you're looking for keywords or information, you can jump through the PDF quickly and find out what you're looking for. And little X will close it for us. Next, you can zoom in and out. So if I click on it, you can choose a default one there if you want, or do it manually by tapping this option here. This is your navigation bar. You can hide it or have it there in view. Now this is for annotation. Click it on it once. We can highlight information and colour code it, and that way you can annotate information that you're looking for, and again annotate it. Also you can underline it, put a strike through, or if I scroll down you might highlight some information and want to add a note, so I'll click the note option here. That will come up, tap it twice and it takes that information, and then you can add additional note underneath. Or you might want to delete that and put your own note and put your additional information underneath. Click close and it's attached itself. Hold the left button, you can drag that out of the way to left as well. Or you can add rectangles, circles and lines through it as well if you want. And you've even got an option here. If I click this button here, you can add free text in there. So if I move that up and I double tap in there, and you might want to add information in there. And there we go. Now if I click on this, if I tap on it and drag that where you want, and if you don't like the colours or the size of the text, come up to the option here and then you can change. Also, if I click on the option here, you can change your fonts as well as you're annotating information. But I'll tap on that and click delete. Now once you've annotated your information, we'll click the close button. And what it do, it'll give you an option whether to save it. Now I want to save with the changes to the highlights and annotations, so click save. It will go back and you can see now it's saved it in my research in my PDF. As we're working with PDFs, say you've downloaded a PDF from another source and you've got it on your Mac somewhere, well we can import that as well. Let me show you. Go to File and you need to select the option that says Import. Now depending on what you import, really important bottom left hand corner, choose what you're importing. For example, if you've left it on Reference Manager and I'll click PDF Import and you don't know you've done that, it won't import in, nothing will happen and you think, well, it's not compatible when it is. So go to File, because you can import any PDFs, And again, choose options and make sure you've got it on PDF or folder. PDF file or folder, so you can import multiple PDFs from a folder. I will show you RIS in a minute, which is really good. We can import from external websites. Now click import. And it's imported top left hand corner. You can see it says imported reference. I've got a new option popped up in my local library, and there it is, and there's my PDF there on the right. I've got a bit of a problem here. Look, if I click into this section here, I'm going to hold the left button, just drag this to the right. I haven't found any source information. Maybe it was an external one. It's got the link to it there, and it's also got the title, but that's not the normal. That's not the actual title. So you can right click it and go through what we did before with find full text. Try that first. Now it does vary if it's got a DOI number, identifier number. Bear that in mind, because some journals are just scanned off and haven't got information. So by looking at that, it's not found any additional information. So if you get an issue with that, I'm going to change view, so that way we'll see the PDF. Go through the PDF, and you're going to have to add it manually. Now to add references manually, it's not a problem. Come to references at the top and select new reference. Then you start adding the information in there. You can drag that out as well, or if you prefer, that's why we have the split screens option. So if I close that, you can choose the split screen option here. So if I go back to split, hold the left button, drag that out. I can also drag my PDF out here, and that way I can go through it, zoom in and out, and look for my information and add it in here. Bear in mind, make sure you choose the option at the top. So really important with the top option there, you can change which source. It might be a web page, for example, and then fill in the additional information for that. Always bear in mind your citation options. Again, I'll come to that in a minute, because for example, if you're using MHRA or a Scholar law, then you're using footnote and not in-text citation, so it's important we look at that later. So there we go so far. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this back and drag this back here. So there's a few methods we got already. How about external websites? Shall we have a look at that? So I'm going to open up Safari, and I'm going to go to WorldCat. It's free, you can sign up, don't cost a penny, and it's a good place for research. So let's say I'm looking for a book, or you might have a book in your hand, for example. Now each book has what's called an ISBN number identifier. We can put that number into here, and then we can use that number to find the source and then import it into Endnote. Easy. But let's just do a general search. I'm just going to type in anatomy, that's the kind of theme we're doing, and click enter. So there we go, I've got some information. I can do a fast search as well, so you can break down your information. For example, year, audience, content, format. And again, we can do the same here online with what we're actually looking for, be it ISBN number specifically, or keywords, or even journal. So I'm going to click on anyone, so I'm just going to click on anatomy there. Now you could come up to here and select Cite Export. So you could export it in a reference style automatically here. So if I click on APA, or maybe MLA, or Harvard. I know there's different forms of Harvard, but it gives you the standard Harvard. But your reference style is not there. And two, if your reference style is not there, you have to copy and paste it into where you want it, into your Word document. That can get messy. You need to organise your references. So let's import them. Let me show you how to do it. So I'll come back out of there and click back up, and I'm going to tick a few. So what I want you to do is come down to the option where it says Export to Endnote Reference Manager. Tap once. It will take that reference, put it into your download folder. So if I open up my download folder, there it is. Double tap it, it automatically puts it into for your Endnote. So I can choose Save. I want to save it, and it's imported. If I come top left hand corner, you can see it's an imported reference because it says it is there as well. And there you go. If I look to the right, I've got all my source information for that. Click this button here and see if we can find any full text for that. And again, look to the bottom left, it tells it's searching. And you know if it's found anything because it'll bring up a paperclip here. But remember, if you've actually got the journal anyway, it's just the reference information you want, you could use this option to import your reference here. And while it's open, select this option and you can attach the PDF. So I'll just attach that other PDF I had on my desktop as an example, and that way you can attach it to your reference as well. So again, it opens up multiple options for you. So what I'll do, I'm going to go back to that because you'll be doing a lot of external searches, and this time I'm going to do a new tab, and I'm going to pop in there JSTOR, which is another good source, and select JSTOR. Again, let's put anatomy in. I'm just doing this randomly, so bear with me if anything goes wrong. Now first what I do, I can't access the downloads look for the PDFs, so I'm going to log in. So free account again, and that way you should be able to access a lot of the journals and PDFs. Actually, I'm going to change that to anatomy PDF and see what we get. So I've selected PDF, so you can see it's giving me PDF options. So let's scroll down, we've got breast surgery there. I'm going to click download PDF, and there's the PDF journal for it, and click back up. So you might go through here, so I've got a book chapter there, you tick that. You might, oh, that's a journal article I need to have a look at as well, that's interesting. And I've got a book chapter there. Now come up to the top where it says export selected citations. Choose export to RIS file, which is Endnote. Tap it. Now it's opening up in a text note, it's not what we want. So you're going to have to follow this procedure to fix it, but I don't think it does it on every Mac. Now problem is, you can go back to download folder, and it's a little bug in it I think. If we open it up, or even change the extension, so if I right click, get info. Now I've got a couple of options here. One we come down and open with, and we can select what you want to open it with. So in this case we obviously want Endnote. So if it's not listed there, come down the bottom and select other, and select it. Select it again and select add. So now every time I press it, it should open up. So I'm going to close that, and I'm going to double tap it, and there you go. Now if you get any issues with that, I've got another option where you can get filters as well that will fix any issues if you're importing RIS files from certain websites. And get rid of the text extension and click enter. I'm going to use the extension and watch what happens. Double tap it and click save. It goes in and saves it. There's a bit of a problem with that, it's a bit time consuming to have to change the extension. Now it doesn't do that on all Macs, but I've had that a couple of times happen. So I've done a quick research on it. Go online and go to Endnote, type in an Endnote website, import filters, and select download all filters. Once you've downloaded them and installed them, that should fix it from external sites, and you should be able to download without having to change the extension. Open the download folder, got all your filters. I mean, you can select them all, Command A, and install them, or just the one, and that should help fix any issues. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these sources I've found. Before I do what I've imported, I'm going to have a quick look to see if I can find any additional information by highlighting them. And remember, click the button to find full text. So you've got to remember, you need to move information between groups, folders, to make sure they're stored okay. It's found nothing there, but I want them anyway. I'm going to hold the left button, I'm going to drag them into my anatomy folder, and there we go. Once you've got them in these folders, you've got them nice and safe. So I'm going to go to anatomy legs, so I'm going to use this option here, and I highlighted some information earlier, didn't I, as well? So now I might want to cite my work. So I'm going to maximise the preview for PDF. I'm going to go to the note, double tap it, and I'm going to highlight this information because I might want to use it. Command C. Now we're going to go into Word, so open a blank Word document. Now I'm going to close that note, and I'm going to paste it into here, Command V. And it gives direct quote. Depending on how you're sourcing it, then you'd use the quotes option as well, so bear that in mind. Now if you come to Word, at the top here we've got the Endnote times 8 option here. So I'll click on Endnote times 8. Now I'm now ready to cite my work. Now do this a couple of ways. I can use the ribbon here, or I can go back to Endnote. So I'm going to select, go to Endnote, and I'm going to close the preview and don't save. I've already got it. I want to use this option here, so I want to use this source. Come up here, we're going to now use these options. I can now insert citations by clicking that, and it puts the citation there for me. If I get rid of that, you'll click this option here, insert citation, and then search what you're looking for here by typing the top. And click enter, and you can check for the journals that you want to use. So I want to use that one. I can click insert. Now what I'm going to do quickly here, if I carry on, is click the little arrow to the right. Depends on if you're using in-text citation, you can exclude author, year, or display as author, year, or you might want bibliography only with no in-text citation. So make sure you choose the correct one you need and click insert. And when you're finished, you then come up the top, choose your reference style and select bibliography and select update bibliography, and it does it for you. I want to come back to here where it says edit and manage citations. This will give you more control over your citations and what you're doing. For example, you can give a prefix before the citation if it's not a standard one, or a suffix will be something within the citation afterwards. I'll just put something as an example. Also, you can put your pages in there if it's a direct quote from a book. But click the little option here. You can configure your bibliography as well. Really important option this, because you need to choose the formatting of your bibliography. Now I'm going to change that to psychology, and then you've got your temporary citations. You can choose there, and link in-text citations to reference in bibliography if you need to do that. But I want to go to layout, and you can choose a default font you might have to use and size within your bibliographies. Also text format. So you might not want the list at the end to say my bibliography, it might just say references, or you might have to put a specific title in there. And you can change the text format of that as well using that option. You can have indents here, or hanging indents. Also line spacing, you might have to do 1.5 or double, or you can choose a space after each reference, but I'll leave none and click OK. So make sure you go bottom left hand corner and select that option as well, and click OK. But that's all good for in-text citations, but what about footnotes and reference styles that you can't see there that you might need? Click on APA and select another style. Now if you go through this list and you can't find a reference style you want, and it's got over 501 there, it's not a problem. Click cancel. Open up Safari or Google your browser and type Endnote styles. Select the first option. Now you've got over 6,000 bibliography styles. You can download the whole lot. It shouldn't take up a lot of information or storage. Or you can type in here what you're specifically looking for example, style or journal name, citation style and publisher, or just type in there. So I've chose there Modern Humanities Research Association, which is footnoting, and we've got a number there, haven't we? We've got sort restricted number or footnote, but I want the footnote, so I'll select download. Now go to your download folder. You see it there, EN file. Double tap it. Before it automatically puts into your EndNote, you can put what it's based on. You've got category humanities, or you can change that. But the important part here, this gives you all the information for that reference style. If I go through it quickly, for example, if you're using citations, you can change how you want your citations to look. For example, author list. If it's more than 3 authors, you need to put in et al. Or you can choose, if it's only 2 authors in the in-text citation, you can have that come up. And again, you can choose that to be italic. So you can break down each reference style exactly how you want. Templates. And this is footnoting. Now I'm going to show you this in a minute, because this can throw a lot of people when you are footnoting. But this is select include citations in bibliography. So this what to do when I do a footnote within Word, it will create a reference underneath and also a reference in your footnote at the bottom, and it can get quite confusing. But I'm going to show you how to change that in a minute. So I'm going to leave it as it is and click Save as default and click OK. Now let's open up Word. I'm going to get rid of all that. And let's just say you've got a quote for humanities. So there's my quote. So again, I don't want APA. I want my MHRA. Now, this is a copy I did earlier. But what I'm going to do is select another. I'm going to use the original one I just downloaded. So alphabetically go down to M. And there it is. There's your standard footnoting for MHRA. Select choose. Now I've got my footnoting option. I'm ready to go. So to add footnotes, go to reference tab in Word and select insert footnote. There's my footnote at the bottom. I'm ready to go. So at the bottom I need my reference. So you select Endnote. I need to find a reference for this. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add anyone in. Now I can insert citation and go to Endnote. Going to Endnote is good when you jump to it, because that way you can check all your folders here that you've created and look for it. But I'm going to go back to Word by using this little icon here and insert from here. So let's say there's something here for humanities. I should use that as an example and click insert. So you see what it's done. All it's done is put an insert citation for me. So when I come to, which is not what I want, so when I click bibliography, update, I come back up, it's put it up here and down there in my footnoting, and that's not what I want. And you see it gets quite messy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that and show you how to fix that issue. So start from fresh. Right, go to Endnote, come to the top here to edit. And once you come down to output styles, and these are your reference styles, and select Open Style Manager. I'm going to untick APA and I want to go down to my humanities one. And there they are. Now I'm going to do the copy one because I'm going to do it from fresh. So this is the one we had. So select it, edit, and come down to footnotes, templates. Now I want you to untick include citations and bibliography, and when using short form include the title only when needed, and untick that. Now I'm going to close that. It's going to ask me to save it, which I want to. And I'm going to call this just proper as an example and click save. Now let's have a look, see if that's working. So now I can close all these windows and go back to Word. Now we're ready to go again, but make sure you change it here, because you'll have two versions of it, the original and the one that you've edited. So I'm going to choose proper. Now we go to references, insert your footnote, footnote at the bottom, quote at the top, and go to Endnote and select insert citation, choose the one you want and click insert. Don't worry about the in-text citation, because when you're finished just click bibliography, update, and there we go. Footnote at the bottom, perfect. And I'm hoping that's pretty spot on for your humanities footnoting style, but always check that just in case. So there's another little tip for you there as well. So again, don't worry, you can carry on, so you might do another quote. And again, let's footnote it. There's second footnote, and again, Endnote, and insert citation. Let's put something else in. Doesn't really matter too much, it's demonstration. I should choose insert, and again, bibliography and update. And there you go. There's all your footnoting. Perfect underneath. So there's a few options to get you up and running. I'm just going to go back to Endnote, and that should store all your references for future use as well. Just remember though, if you've got different subjects, or you might be doing different degrees, come up to File, and you've got Open Libraries, so you have to create different libraries. So once you've created, you can store them specifically in your documents or where you want them, and then you can open them at a later date. So you've got an Endnote folder there as well. Or File, you can do a new library. So that way you can separate all your research into different libraries so you can access them better. Alright, that was a help just to give you the basics to get you up and running. Thanks for watching.